Moira, I'll give you a boost. See if you can climb up.
Okay. Can't do this alone. Claire, this way! Maybe once we're outside, we can find someone to help us. I just want to get out of here.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Bugs! Of course there had to be bugs. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah, I was almost a Claire sandwich.
Oh, does Barry tell everyone that story?
Well, at least we've got power. That should help. So they were torturing people.
place very much. Where do you think we are?
Said the poor lost soul as she lamented her fate.
Ugh! Again with these stupid bracelets!
Who are you? I want answers.
I am the Overseer. Fear requires an audience and a conductor.
Overseer?
You must go to the Vasek, where life begins.
What do you want from us?
Nice. Real nice.
Look! Over there! A radio tower. Maybe we can send an SOS. Could use your help.
Tell me we're not jumping this?
See? You can do it. I gotcha.
Fuck you, Hollywood. That wasn't even close to easy.
Listen, Moira, I'm really sorry. I don't know what I got you mixed up in. Barry'll never forgive me.
This isn't your fault. Also, Barry can kiss my ass. The guy bitches and moans and granny swears about everything. so?
No, it's dead. You stay here. I'm gonna go check it out. Right. This better work.
Fuck! Is anyone picking this up? My name is Moira Burton. My coworkers and I were taken here against our will. I don't know where. We have these fucked up bracelets, and this crazy woman is talking to us. Some kind of monsters have killed the others. Please, send help! Please! Shit! Oh, one more time. My name is Moira Burton.
Oh, God. What is this place?
Rise and shine, my adorable little guinea pig. This is my baby, the Red Queen Alpha. I've invested a lot of time into making this the perfect battle simulator. And now it's time for you to show me what it can do. Run, my little hairball. Spin those wheels.
Go on ahead. Just stay there.
lab rat. Your vitals are stable as well. That's the spirit, lab rat. Rise and shine? Ooh, that's the spirit, lab rat. Your vitals are stable as well.
All right, that's it for Resident Evil. After evaluation of the raid is kind of simple. It's fun and it will get you to where you need to get to if you just wanna do standard runs. It's kind of like Hunk in Resident Evil 2 when you're trying to escape Raccoon City. The difference is just that you're scoring. You're rating the different locations within the compound of this island, and you're trying to get as much good stuff as you can. So you're just rating the area. You can do it with a partner. You can match make. However, based on the time frame of this game and when it was released. Not a lot of people are playing, but it is co-op. It's also split screen co-op, so you can play the campaign split screen, and then you could play co-op with various people in the matchmaking for the raids. And there are additional episodes for this game. Now, one of the things I find very interesting, and I'll remove myself from matchmaking about this game, is that the setup and dynamic of the gameplay is so different from every other Resident Evil. It's very difficult to even consider it Resident Evil. Other than the main characters called Claire and the way the zombies move and atmosphere, you could say those are Resident Evil. Atmosphere, the way the zombies move, and the name of the main characters. That's about it. Those three things. Everything else in this game does not really feel Resident Evil. It feels more like evil within mixed with Resident Evil. And that's not a bad thing, that's actually a good thing. So, from the campaign mode itself, I like the idea of co-oping with two people. Or, if you're playing by yourself, switching back and forth between characters. It's something I've never seen in the game before when I'm doing any type of missions, and it feels like oddly feels like a cooperative campaign with yourself. Like you're playing two different forms of yourself. That's what it feels like to me. Uh, Even though it's meant for two people to play, actually you could play the single player and it will still feel like you're cooperating with someone else, but that someone else will be yourself. Um, it works in so many ways, and the only disadvantage I see with regards to the cooperative aspects, whether with someone or not, is that the character doesn't, they don't move out of the way fast enough or catch up to you fast enough when you're running away from a monster or trying to dodge an attack. So that's the only drawback with regards to this game. So the major things I would say with regards to this game, because this game is considered an 8 by Metacritic, and I'm not going to fully evaluate it from 0 going all the way to 8, but I will say from the major things I saw with regards to this game, the only three drawbacks I could find so far with the game, and from where I'm standing right now to this game, because I've only beaten the first chapter of the game in this campaign mode, and only beaten the first level of the game in this raid mode. So from where I see, there are only three things I could take away from the game. Actually, five things I could take away from the game at this very moment. And that would probably be those three things I said, and two other things. One being the lighting is very dark, it's hard to see, and two, the movement speed of your companions or yourself, even if you're playing with another person. The AI bot moves a little too janky and slow. Um, but those are the only gripes I could find with regards to the game as I started to play it, those five things. Every other thing with regards to the games flows smoothly and works well. They went with this type of art style, this dark art style, because that's something that they were interested in. It doesn't really work out the way they want, so that's why I said it's too dark. If they had lightened it up a little bit more, it would work. So there are only five things I could see from the beginning of playing this game that are bad, and about 10 things I could see in the beginning of this game that are good. And those 10 things are um, the ability to switch between back and forth with characters, having your relevant secondary character you switch to has meaning and purpose, and is not a carbon copy of your other character. They have specific attributes or specific abilities that they're going to do at the same time. So when, let's say, Claire kicks a monster down or a zombie down, she could immediately go for a blade attack, or she could let her partner um, go for a crowbar gut punch or gut kill. Or you could simply beat the enemy while they're down. You don't even have to go for the R2 execution. You could just keep beating them. But that's kind of pointless. The whole point of as soon as you get next to an enemy is to do that R2 to kill them faster. But I like the idea of how they both go about taking out enemies. They don't do it similarly, not because one is carrying a gun and one isn't carrying a gun, one is carrying a knife and one is carrying a crowbar. It's the way they execute their moves and how they execute their moves, not what the weapon types that they're carrying. They cooperate with each other like they're in different people together, all completely different people, separate from what we as the viewer are seeing them as. They feel like they were designed to be different people, and their attributes were designed to be different people. And that's the way you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to make a character mimic the same abilities of another character by the T, even in the execution style. Like, let's say Claire goes for execution with her knife. The other character, I don't even remember her name, Moira. Let's say she goes for an execution with a crowbar, but she executes with the crowbar in the exact same way. Um, or let's say Claire goes from a downwards slash, the same way Moira does with her crowbar, and that would be the same type of execution. They knew that. That's why when it came to executions, they didn't make Claire executions the same as Moira's. That's why they gave them different type of weapons. Because if they had given Moira the same a knife, probably her movement and execution would probably look the same, rather than give her a different animation towards the execution. So I like the fact that that's in there. So that's only one thing I would say good in regards to the inclusion in the game. Not to mimic the same abilities of one character to the next. Non-mimic same abilities. Maybe the running is about the same, and the dodging is about the same, and I guess I guess crouching is the same. Those three things, but those are the fundamentals that they have for every character. What I'm talking about are the special ways for them to do executions. That's what I was talking about. And the special ways they use certain weapons. The additional things added on to the foundations of the standards that all the other characters, including like Barry and all the stuff, those specific things that they have added on to their character on top of the additional foundation. So the foundation of the standard that they're supposed to do is there, and those things work, and they work well. They don't lag that much. In order, I would say they only lag a little, but they don't lag that much. But that's not real positive. Like just a little, but not that much to be a problem. Um, I like the ability, and then there's also the factor of turning. It doesn't turn. The game doesn't turn fast enough when you're running. So the five things I mentioned, those are the five I take away, and the two things I mentioned right now, the positives, are one, the ability to execute certain things additional and separate from your other characters, which they made each character different and be able to execute certain abilities differently, and two, um, the ability to use the fundamental functions of each character, same as every other character, and have it work, not in the best way, but in a way that's um, good enough. And then there's the third thing I would say with regards to the game is the movement of text and use of text within the game is fine. You could go from text to text, moving up and down, and it works perfectly. Pressing down on the text works perfectly and is fast. Checking out what's within the text and then go from window to window, loading from one window to the next goes fast. The decision to use yellow on black um, is a specific art choice, and it works. It allows you not to strain your eyes that much, so that works. And yeah, so the interactive menu part of the game works. So that's the third thing I'll say. It works, and that's important to know that something works and it works good. It's not just work, but it works good. There's also the factor that the game has additional other features with regards to the game. So the three things I mentioned, those are three, and now the fourth thing I mentioned, additional features. The raid mode is also added, so that's a plus. I could go into detail of the raid mode, but I won't. I'll just say the raid mode is added, so that's a plus. And details within the raid mode, I could get into that, but like I said, I won't. Then, other than the raid, there's also extra stuff they're giving to you. So Once you do raid, you get rewards. You get raid scores, and there's also the gallery feature. They also add a gallery within the game. Now, most games would generally have a gallery, but not all games that have gallery will actually have a movie section or a secret file section. So I appreciate the fact that they give you a movie section to watch and repeat a movie to see what you've completed and what you didn't complete. Because most games give you concept art, secret files, or figurines or collectibles, and some of them will give you movies as well. So the fact that they have more than two or even more than three additional things within its extras, that's also a plus. So I would say that's about the fifth thing I would say with regards to the game that's good. Now the sixth thing I would say with regards to the game that's good is from the options menu. Once you press on interactive, the ability to switch off your controllers to what you want, to set them up the way you want, that's normal. That's not something positive, but it works. It may not work. It's not work. It doesn't work perfectly, but it works, and that's something that's important. And you can set them up based on whatever type of format you want to use for them, in whatever way you want to use for them. And they work fast and they work effectively, so that works. The options under controls, under displays, under audios, how you could change up the height of the audio, how you could lower the effects of the audio, lower the chat volume, that works. The language setup, you could switch it to whatever language you want, and the volume or voice of the language you want. You could also include subtitles into your actual featured games for, let's say, individuals that don't speak English or don't speak can't hear. I mean, not can't yeah, can't hear certain things, so they have to use subtitles. So that's included in the game as well. There's also the also Remake that's applied to this game, allow you to keep you up to date and everything with regards to the game itself. So those are the five things so far that are positive with regards to the game. And then there's the sixth thing that the game has is that it has an autosave feature, so that every time you move or you do an activity within the game, it actually gives you that auto feature within the game, that whatever progress you've completed, even if it's something that's simply about configuring your controller options, even something as simple as that. It's watching a movie, it saves it. It always saves it at all times, and overwrite what you previously were doing. So it always keeps you up to date on your save, so you never have to worry about pressing any button to save. It saves at all times. So I would say that's the sixth thing. Now the seventh thing with regards to the game is that other than the raid itself, it does have from the PlayStation Store extra story features. So if you were to go into the campaign and you were to select episodes, and then you select one or two episodes. Let's say you pick either Claire's episode or Barry's episode. There are other people within the game as well, episodes you could pick, not just Claire and not just Barry, but you have Moira's episode and probably Chris and so on and so forth. So the game was considerate within showing different parts of different episodes in regards to the campaign. So not to show the entire game from a point of view of just Claire herself or Leon herself, or Leon himself, but from different individuals within the Resident Evil universe, and give them their own episodes or have them align with other people. So in this, the first episode, you have Claire and Moira. In the next episode, you will probably have Barry by himself or with someone else. And then the next episode, you'll probably have Claire and Moira again, or let's say, and then the following episode, you'll probably have Chris and Ava, and then the last one you might have Leon and Claire. So it gives you options, or maybe not. That's not even the case. Maybe it's a back and forth between just Claire, Barry, Moira, and then one other person. But even so, it's not just a game about Claire and Moira. There are other people who you could actually run the campaign with as well. So it gives you options. So I like the fact that it has options with regards to the story. In addition to that, in the PlayStation Store, with regards to the story, it also have extra episodes. So that's the seventh thing with regards to the game. It not only have a standard story with regards to this game, it has extra episodes you can add on top. So additional DLC content for the game to add on top if you finish the game. So I believe there are at least 3 or 4 additional stories with regards to the game. So even if you get bored of playing the game from beginning to end, whether it's on casual, normal, survival with Claire, you still have the options to start the game all over or midway. And this is probably part of the aspect of the story that I like that's different from every other Resident Evil game. Midway, after you finish an episode, you could continue that episode of Claire, or you could skip and then start the episode of Barry's first starting episode. And then after you finish Barry's episode, you could then go back to Claire, or you could stay at Barry's. Or once you finish Barry's episode and it unlocks whoever characters are over here, you could consider their episode. And once their episode is finished, you could decide to go back to Claire and Barry, or continue their episode, and so on and so forth. So that's something different and new with regards to the Resident Evil universe that I've never seen before, and it's never been done before. That's something I like, and that's why I would say that's like the seventh thing with regards to the games, not just different ways to doing the story, but different from different individuals you play the story through, as well as additional contents with regards to the story and the ability to go back and forth within the story and choose what you want to play continuously, or if you're starting to get pissed off, you switch back and forth before you even get to the end. So that's the seventh thing I'll say with regards to the game, but that's good. The eighth thing I'll say with regards to the game that's also good, once you get out of that, see, now I'll get into the raid mode. Now in the raid mode, I wasn't speaking on raid mode before, but now once you get into the raid mode, I just said that the raid mode was added to the game, and that's a feature with regards to the game that it has. But I didn't give details about the raid mode itself and additional things within the raid mode. So the additional things within the raid mode that's added to be like the eighth thing. See, let's let this thing load. That eighth thing would be with regards to your customizations. So once you obviously beat certain levels, and once you start to get slow levels from 1 to 10, and then from 10 to 20, and then 20 to 30, or even from 1 to 5, and then from 5 to 10, and then from 10 to 15, and 15 to 20, so on and so forth. You start to unlock different customizations, not just customizations for your uniform, but customizations for your weapons, or just to have different type of look towards your outfits as well, different customizations. And that not only comes through beating levels and elevating us through the actual raid itself, finding different things. You can actually find things within the mission to customize your characters as well. So that's something I would say that's a good additive, not just the ability to have certain things rewarded to you for completing certain raids, but also the ability to find certain things within a raid to add to your enjoyment with regards to the game. And that's with regards to mission themselves, not the additional features of missions. So I would say that would be the eighth thing, the ability to continuously achieve things based on earned things that you've found in a mission, or how fast you complete the mission. So that's something that I would say that's the eighth thing. Another thing with regards to the game that I find interesting is the ability to actually upgrade your weapon. It's not just given to you when you're, I guess if you pass a certain raid, get a certain weapon you found in a mission, be able to use parts, siphon off parts, and then you use them to upgrade weapons as well. Or you can find weapons, or find parts from weapons. You equip parts that you find, and once you find those parts, it comes in a different list. You decide to equip them to make them stronger and more powerful. And this is the best part of the game. This is the raid mode. You attach it, and you make whatever the weapon you have stronger, more powerful. Whether it's a submachine gun or whatever, you equip it, or a handgun. So, and there are different types. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, you have 12 slots. Yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slots. And I'm not 100% sure that there are 12 weapons, but I'm pretty sure that there probably is 12 weapons. And for those 12 weapons, you have different ways to customize those 12 weapons. So that will fall into that category, that 8 category I'm speaking of, with regards to customizations, but also with regards to customizations of guns as well, not just customization of outfits. So they kind of fall into the same customization feature. And but if you really think about it, customizations of outfits has nothing to do with customization of weapons. So they're very different, but they're still customizations. And there's also the ability to sell and or keep things if you want for more money, so you can buy other valuable goods, or to change your orders, or to place things in a different way that you do want to place them. But I would say the main two things is outfit customization and weapon customizations. Those are the main two things that I would say that would make it the 8. Now, the 9th thing within the raid, I would say, is regards to ranking and achievements. So medal rewards, achievement, and based on records are found within matchmaking. Now you can match with a partner, or you could join someone else's partner, depending on who's playing at the time. Now it could be a lot of people, or it could be no one at all. Sometimes it could just be you yourself playing, and there might not be anyone. Ability to do matchmaking within a Resident Evil higher ranks, that's also something that's very good. So I like that with regards to the game itself, and I believe that's something that's very worthwhile, and that's what I would consider to be something that's good. And other than that, I would say, if I were to leave this, the last thing I would say with regards to this game would probably be the fact that it has the split screen co-op. It's not just standard co-op within the game, but it has the split screen function for co-op. 2 people can play on the same screen using 2 different controllers. It's not something that's just cooperative by an let's say the PSN store, allowing you to do cooperative based on online functions. That's network co-op. This is actually co-op that's set in the game for 1 to 2 players. So it has 2-player based co-op that's offline, and then it has online capabilities of co-op that's multiplayer. So this is a co-op game, regardless if it's online or offline. So I also like that. And I also like the fact that it has that capability set within the game. And that will be the 10th reason with regards to this game. And even if you don't consider that 10th, even if you consider that part of the whole dual switching off one character to the next, changing characters, the same thing. You could basically find other aspects of the game that makes it more interesting. You could purchase certain things, go outside the store, add additional weapons, have additional weapons, additional customizations, additional features, additional maps. And the game has other additional stuff, so that could be your 10th reason if you don't find those other reasons appealing. And I didn't even speak on the atmosphere of the game as well. And I'm not talking about lighting and shadows. That's the drawback of the game. The five or six drawbacks of the game. I already spoke on that. I'm talking about the actual atmosphere of the game, and actual design of the game, and the actual artwork of the game. Those are the things that I could speak on, but those are the things I will speak on in detail. So, as a base standard, this game has more things going for it than it does have drawbacks. It has, I say, about half of what it has wrong. It gets more than half of those things right, and that's why I would assume this game falls into an 8 category. Um, Maybe an 8 most, or 8.1 most. But I don't think this thing would exceed beyond an 8.1. If I was to properly evaluate from beginning to end, I would say this game falls into an 8 category, because I've played games like Zombie Army 4, World War Z, and even Strange Brigade. And those games are very fun. They're very atmospheric. They're very different, and have a lot of things going for them. And I guess it's because they don't have that name that Resident Evil has that name. They're seen as lesser, but in all truth, when you evaluate everything, you have to do it from 0 to 100. So I have to properly evaluate this game on every aspect because I believe this actual game, even though it's given an 8, it's probably fall into the 7.5 category. It'll probably have 7.5 most, and that's the most thing that I could probably say because of this game. It's a 7.5. That's my idea of where it is right now. Where it is right now is a 7.5. Where it can go, it probably can go beyond 7.5. But at the moment, it's probably a 7.5 right now in my mind. And as I progress further through the game, it'll probably drop off to about a 7. But I don't think this game will go below a 7. In fact, I believe this game will probably stay at exactly the number I say it'll probably stay at. It'll probably stay at a 7.5. I believe the people who give this game credit give it far too much credit. I already see a lot of flaws. I believe that this game shouldn't be in the 8 category. It should be in the 7 category, but the high 7s. So I believe this game at minimum will probably be a 7.5. Because from my understanding, Zombie Army 4 is far more fun than this, and Strange Brigade even has a different atmosphere and everything. And functionality has certain things about that game that's more appealing. But I could see why this would be something that's far more interesting because it has a deeper storyline than those games. Those games don't have story. Otherwise, those games will fall into the 7 category as well. And it has more interesting characters as well. Then this game has more interesting characters than Strange Brigade or Zombie Army 4. They don't have that many interesting characters whatsoever, and their story is almost non-existent. But except for Strange Brigade, it has a story there. It's just that the story is not as fleshed out as this and not as complex as this. And I see the reason and why this will fall into the 7 category simply because of a deeper storyline or a deeper connection within the universe and you wanting to know what the hell's going on. That's the reason why I think this game will be in the 7.5 category, a little bit ahead of games like Zombie Army and Strange Brigade. But as for a cooperative game, I think it falls shorter in those games, except for the raid features. The raid is probably the only thing that might make it fun, and make it accessible and enjoyable with other people, and the fact that it has the capability to switch back and forth offline with one other person, one other friend. So those are the things that make it vastly different from those games and far more interesting in that aspect. But I don't believe this game deserves to be in the 8 category. But we'll see as I would say I will see as I go along, because I judge everything from 0 to 10. And right now, if I was to consider judging from 0 to 10, it would probably be in the 3.5 category right now, based on the negatives and the positives of everything I say that's negative and positive, it will be from the 3.5 category right now. And that's straight up going from point 1, point 2, point 3, from 4, point 5, point 6, point 7, point 8, point 9, and then get to 1. So I say it's in the 3 to the 3.5 category right now. It hasn't sold me on anything yet. It's not even close to the halfway point. I'll say it's at a good 25%. For it to be 3 right now, based on everything I see, it's probably enjoyable, and it'll probably get deeper than it is right now. I would say it's a 3. But my guesstimation by the time I finish this game, this campaign, this raid, and every other features, it'll probably be in the 7.5 at the end. That's my guesstimation. Right now, I'm at a 3 right now with regards to this game. From everything that I've seen, that I haven't stated from 0 to 9, and then you get the full 1, and then you go back. But I've done it in my head. I've played it out. The rollovers, the color of the rollovers, the use of text design, the logos, the speed of how everything is uploaded, the fact that there's hardly any lag. All these things have been considered. That's why I said at the moment, I believe in my head this game is a 3 right now. And at the end, when I'm finished with everything, it'll probably be a 7.5. But we'll see. But that's it for this game. I'll probably play this on my own time, or maybe tomorrow I'll put in some more hours. There are a lot of people that play this all around the world. So from from an international standpoint, I believe it might get the reason why it falls into the 8 category on places like Game News, Metacritic, Game Facts, Game Informers, because it's a franchise game and gets that 1 point love than it should. It should be seen from a game aspect that it deserved, and I believe this falls into the 7 category. And that 1 point shouldn't be given to the game simply because it's a franchise. So I gotta go, and that's it.